Hey everyone, welcome to Nick's Corner. I'm Nick, wearing my wizard robe in the corner. Today, I'm going to talk about Baptism of Fire. We're moving on, and we're doing a great job at getting our March Madness down with our Witcher binge. I have been enjoying this so much, and it's been fantastic. Andrzej Sapkowski has created an amazing world with this story, and I really love what's going on in it. Ciri continues to become more and more amazing all the time. In this book here, we're going to talk about spoilers again. So, spoilers, just like the last one there, and going forward, each one will have spoilers, as at this point you have chosen to read these books. Or you haven't, and if you haven't, then why are you here? This is like book 4, book 5 out of if you include the first 2 short stories. So there is that. Um, I love that Geralt, regardless of his injuries, is gone out and doing his best to find Ciri. He is always in a push to try and protect her, even after he lost her, because he really does care for her. And for someone who's not supposed to have any feelings, he is a softie. And that's one of the things I love about Geralt. He is a monster slayer when it matters, and he is a wonderful human being when it matters. So, but he can also be downright evil too at times if he's not in the mood to deal with someone. He's very unapologetic, and I believe in this one here, he gets knighted Ser Geralt of Rivia, which is hilarious because when he mentions it to the queen when they're on the bridge, he doesn't tell her that he's from Rivia because she's the queen of Rivia. So she ends up knighting him Sir Geralt of Rivia. And I don't think he's from Rivia. I think he was made to choose where he wanted to be from when he was starting to become a Witcher, and Vesemir was like, you need to be like Geralt of a place, and he chose Rivia, and he kind of revels in it that he gets to be knighted. And that's something that's also a little weird too, because he's a Witcher. He's not supposed to get involved in things, but he didn't have a choice, and due to his heroics, he got knighted. But backing up a little bit, because I jumped way ahead in that story there, Ciri is on the run from Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard, I believe, at this point in time, has a fake Ciri to marry off into the Nilfgaard Empire. So right now, Geralt knows one thing, Ciri knows another, Yennefer knows another. They're all doing their own separate things. I believe at this point in time, the Mage Guild has been torn apart and things are going awry for people of magic. So we are also getting to explore a bit of that and seeing where that follows. And that's mostly in part because we have the squirrels who are like elves and dwarves and gnomes and stuff. They're kind of fighting with Nilfgaard against the north, and they're almost like guerrilla warfare that Nilfgaard is kind of pushing. Um, so I find that to be quite interesting with what's going on there. Ciri joins a group called the Rats, and she renames herself Flecka, I think, and she becomes like a famous bandit with these people and like running around robbing from the rich and kind of giving to themselves and stuff like that. And I've been really enjoying Ciri's story. I keep saying it in each video. Ciri is becoming a favorite character of mine as the books progress. She is just a badass. She has nothing going for her. She is always on the run, and yet she is strong willed. She is willing to push forward, and she is very, very determined and to like find a family. And like, so we had her with her regular family, her real family. Then she was with Geralt, which was another family to her. And then she was with Yennefer, and that was like a mother-daughter relationship for her. And now she's with the Rats, where she feels at home and in another family setting. So she's always trying to belong. And I find that's the most difficult thing for Ciri, is because she is constantly trying to fit in and be somewheres with people, and it just kind of uh, it's kind of sad to see, but it's also amazing to see how much she pushes forward because she is never giving up, and I love that. And I just I love the way the story's going. Sapowski is just a wonderful writer. The people who did the translations from Polish and English, I really am happy with how they've translated it. It seemed like nothing seems out of place. There are some weird things that are said in there, but I mean, I could chop that up to being medieval because it sounds like they're just skipping out on a few words, which if you were not very well educated, which a lot of these people are not, they end up talking that way. Uh, also, uh, about that, um, they have a lot of characters in here, like Siri, who ends up showing her intelligence, which is quite amazing. Where she keeps bringing up the point that um, she's well learned. She can read runes and all that sort of stuff, which is amazing. So I really love that they make Siri a very well rounded character. We also see her almost get raped, and that's kind of an intense moment. And she's kind of saved by another member. And I don't even know it is and it isn't rape because this type of world is sort of a different type of world. I mean, rape is rape, but Siri was not all against it. She was just kind of stiff about it, and then she was like, maybe I'll just let it happen to me, and I will let this happen so I can see what it's like. Because Yennefer had told her that it's really nothing, and so Siri has been holding on to her virginity for a long time in this story. And I feel like when she got to this point where one of the rats was kind of like cuddling up to her and stuff and starting to get a little handsy, she was starting to talk herself into it because she was willing to go along with it. But in the end, it was kind of rapey, and I didn't like that for her because I really like Siri, and I was sad that she was just about to be like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna let this happen and see what it's like, because why not? Let's see what it's like. And someone came along and saved her from it, which was wonderful, and I really enjoyed that. And uh, keeps Siri pure. She's amazing. I love her. Maybe I missed something and maybe she's already lost it, but I don't think she has. Because as far as I know, she's still, just was always tightened up around people when that stuff was coming up. And she's a teen. She's a kid. She shouldn't have to worry about that. Um, and it's just one of those things that, I I love the way Sapowski writes everything because he makes it seem like some stuff is abundantly bad and other things are amazingly great for our characters. He puts them in situations like I believe at the end of this one here, Geralt has a whole crew. One of them's a vampire, another one's a Nilfgaardian. I believe the Nilfgaardian is even the guy who's captured Ciri a few times. We got Dandelion, we have a druid, and we have Geralt, and they're gone off on their party, and they're now like a group, a fellowship almost, which is might be why I'm like falling in love with it and really enjoying it a lot because I like when you get this cast of characters built together and they're going out to try and save Ciri, and I think that's fantastic. That group of characters end up on the bridge where Geralt ends up having to find a way out. He's stuck between two armies and doesn't have a choice. When he is pushed back against one army, he pushes forward with the other army, and the other army is Rivia and kind of saves their asses in the battle. And in doing so, he ended up getting knighted for it, which I thought was really cool. And Geralt kind of soaked that in. He really enjoyed that, which was out of character for him, but at the same time, I think it was something that he desired deep down, was to be something more than just a Witcher. And at this point in time, he's kind of abandoning the Witcher life and slowly moving towards a different kind of life where I think he wants to be more involved with Ciri and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see where this goes from there. Um, Next up, we're going to talk about the Tower of Swallows, which I think is my favorite installment in the series so far. So let's talk about that shortly. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you again.